Hello YouTube, welcome to the EV Guy Canada. I am the EV Guy and this is my Tesla. This is my little trailer video to introduce the channel. So my name is Ian, not just the EV Guy, and I just wanted to let you know what we're all about here, or what I'm all about on this channel. Right now the channel's hyper focused on some pretty nerdy stuff. I am concentrating not only on the beta version of the full self-driving software for Teslas. I'm actually in the process of building a browser-based interface, which is right here, for the beta testers to use to help track issues that happen while they're driving with the full self-driving beta software. And this will help us understand how well the FSD package is progressing over time, to see drive to drive how much better or worse it's getting in different conditions and things like that on the city or highway. And this kit is to keep track of all of that. So this isn't fully baked yet, so I'm sharing kind of the process that I'm going through as I keep evolving the interface. It's getting close, but that's what I'm focused on right now. In the future, I plan to expand this quite a bit. It should evolve. My passions for electric vehicles are pretty deep, and it doesn't exist only with Teslas. I'm interested in all the full electric vehicle market, and so I do plan on evolving, adding in some electric vehicle reviews. My wife and I are contemplating purchasing a second electric vehicle to replace her current gas engine vehicle, and so I may start a playlist of us going through that process if she's up for it. And you up for it? Anyway, so that's where we are. I'm going to step into the more the nerdy stuff here. So if you've got an overall view, thanks for watching this far. Now I'm going to show you a little bit about what I'm developing right now. So put on your nerd hat and away we go. So this is the software. I'm just going to quickly reset my odometer in the Tesla and hit this start button. So when we start, the software is going to ask me what the weather's like, because that is a very relevant point. Is right now it's beautiful and sunny, so clear skies, because we want to know what weather the car was dealing with at the time that we recorded the progress of this trip. Then once you're in here, I'm using the GPS data that the browser gives me access to log a whole bunch of information. So I have 4 categories, and I'm going to log one right there. So there's a disengagement, and it was a lane change problem. So that's what I would do when there's a disengagement that happens. And a disengagement is when I take over entirely. So if I use the steering wheel to take over, or I hit the brake pedal to take over and completely disengage the self-driving software, that's right there. That's a disengagement. And then I have those subcategories. I flashed it pretty quickly, so I'll bring it up again. So we have lane change or detection, obstacle avoidance. So obstacle avoidance would be, something came into the lane and it wasn't reacting well enough and I had to take over to avoid it. And then we have if there's any stop sign or stoplight interaction problems, like, I don't know, it blows through a stop sign or advances too early or something like that, that would go there. We have interaction with other cars, so if maybe we need to merge in with another lane of cars and it doesn't do it very well and I need to take over, that would be it there. And then late or no brake, so when it's just waiting too long to brake, or it doesn't brake when it needs to. So those are the ones that I have for interventions. For disengagements. For interventions, an intervention is a little different. Intervention is when I just give the car a little bit of information about what I want it to do, but I don't completely take over. So you can do that in one of 3 ways. The most common is to use the accelerator, and this would be one of those situations often where you'll see it's just a little slow in the intersection. Actually, this was a good one. Often it's quite slow in this intersection, and I'll use the accelerator to speed it up to tell it it's fine, go ahead. So that was actually a good one. actually I'll jump ahead because that was what I would call a good job. There's no subcategories to good job, just it's something it normally doesn't do very well and it did well, so I'm going to keep track of that and just say that was a good job. So for interventions, it's accelerator pedal, or on the highway, sometimes I'll use the turn signal to change lanes when I want it to change, that the car's not doing it, but I think it should. So then I would so that's what I would do. I would hit that. This was another good job, the way it handled that car pulling over. And then the third way is to adjust the speed, which you can do with this little dial here, the jog dial. And that's sort of subjective whether or not you want to log that as an issue. And then anything else just falls under other. So if I don't actually do anything to help the car, I'm taking over because I've hit my destination here. If I don't do anything to help the car, but it did something that I don't like, then that falls under other. So interventions, these are our categories. So our categories are slow creep or acceleration. So like I said, at that stop sign, a wrong speed limit. So sometimes, the map data is wrong, and it's actually there's an area near my house where constantly it thinks that it's 40 kilometers an hour, but in reality it's a 60 kilometer an hour road, so I have to adjust the speed. So you can track that by saying wrong speed limit. Again, interaction with other cars, that's the same as you would do for disengagement. Phantom braking, that happens quite often, where the car starts braking when there's no apparent reason. Lane detection, we covered that on the other one, and stop signs, we already covered that as well. So I'll hit cancel here. And then other, we have all the same ones with the addition of no turn signal. Everything else is under the other categories as well. So that's pretty deep dive into the way this works. There's a little more. We have a city highway toggle. So today I didn't need to use that, but when I'm driving, I'm trying to log how many kilometers are on city driving and how much is done on the highway, because as of today, FSD Beta actually has 2 different software stacks. So they have an older stack that handles everything when you're on the highway, and then the new full self-driving software stack for surface level city streets. So we split this up. So while I'm driving this in the city, this defaults to city, and it just tracks. And I can zoom in here a little bit, and you'll see that it's kept track. So since I started this drive, we did 2.67 kilometers of city driving. If I had been on the highway, then it would have started clocking on the highway, and it would aggregate the 2 of them together over here. So that's the way that happens. So I can just show you here quick: highway, switch, city. Now if I leave it on highway, in a moment it'll start flashing because I'm not going fast enough for the highway. So it's just a little reminder to say, hey, are you sure? And then if I'm in city mode and I get on the highway and I cross a certain threshold, it'll start flashing to say, hey, do you want to switch to highway mode? And then a little undo button. So that's the interface. And then when you're done, you just hit finish, and we will come up with, all this becomes disabled. And I have a summary here. This is my first stage of the summary. And this is our map-based summary, and it shows us exactly all of the events that happened, or the issues that we tracked, and where they happened. So my first one was a disengagement. It was a lane change or detection problem. It happened at 9:46 a.m. On the city street, and I was going approximately 57 kilometers an hour, and that happened around here on Terry Fox. Here was where I said, way to go. So that was here on Innovation Drive, and it was city. And then I had so I had 2 way to goes on this one thing that I thought it was really good, and I logged those. And so we can see them on the map. We can see when they happened, where they happened, approximately how fast we were driving, and we know that it was on the city in good weather. So we're going to keep track of all of that information. I'm actually now currently working on developing a different screen than this, which is our summary for saving. So it'll be more of the no map, just the details, and you'll be able to edit any of them, make any changes before you save it. And you'll be able to select the map summary or the save summary, whichever you want. So yeah, that's where we're at. This is the software. Let's see how well we did on our distance detection. I'm using just GPS data for this, so it's different than what the car uses. So there will be some discrepancies sometimes, but let's see. 3 kilometers, and the car rounds the kilometers up. So I'm 2.67, which is 3 kilometers rounded up. So it's perfect. So I was very happy with that. So yeah, there we go, guys. That's where the channel's at today. I hope that was enough information, because it was quite a lot. And like I said, pretty nerdy, hyper-focused stuff. But I do plan on expanding, making some more broad interest content, because I think, you know, if I want to grow the channel at all, it's pretty hard to do when I'm this hyper-focused. There are over 100,000 or around 100,000 beta testers out there, so you know, potentially we could have a lot of people using this software and you know, drive some of that attention to the channel. So we'll see how that all goes. But yeah, I've had a lot of fun interacting with everybody so far. You know, particularly with Elias Martinez from the FSD Beta Community Tracker that's currently out there. We're collaborating to try to pool our data together, and he's helping me with this, helping me, you know, sort of make decisions on the way this interface is going to work. And also had a lot of positive feedback from Cyberlift. That's a great channel. You should check it out. So yeah, I've really had fun interacting with you guys, and I look forward to expanding that circle much more in the future. So hope everybody's having a wonderful day. It's beautiful here in Ottawa. I hope it is where you are too. Take care.